is gonna, get back to normal
You turned this on. I can know.
after I bury my cousin. But right now, you know what I'm saying, I'm just all over the place, and Candy can attest to that.
Yeah.
So, how important? I have a follow up question. How important is it that you, or how important to you is it that you take care of it in order to have a successful relationship? Because I've learned
But
firsthand that when your
but
mental
but
not
here's
right.
the thing: when you're in a relationship, it's two, it's not one. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's one, overall, but
Why the music
it's
keeps starting up?
because you keep grabbing it. All right, let it go. There you go. So it really, takes the encouragement from, your counterpart. You know, it's because today she's going through a tough time herself. You know, and for just a moment, I forgot about it. So, like, I had to put what I'm dealing with down to make sure she good.
Can, boss, can you speaking a little low? I don't know. Can everybody
Oh,
can everybody hear him?
yeah.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
somebody said no.
Sheldon said he can't hear you. You can't hear him, Sheldon. Can you hear us just fine? Okay, boss. Yeah, he on his smooth tip today. You know what I'm saying? What
He
about you,
always on his
Candy?
smooth
You
tip.
mind speaking on it? You don't have to necessarily, dive into your situation right now, but is it important to you? Because, like I said,
Hmm.
I know a lot of people in the black community think like, I don't need nobody to go to. I don't need to see no counselor. I don't need no therapist. That's what crazy people. I don't need nobody to talk to. Or sometimes, like I get a lot of. I have a client right now who feels like I don't see her that often anymore because she doesn't come, but she feels like she's telling her family business by talking to me, but she
Well,
doesn't
you missed
realize
that whole
that,
conversation
huh?
yesterday. You missed that whole conversation. You left, and that's the conversation we had. Am I right? Well, sure, we talked about that whole thing dealing with counselors
But I want to
and
know.
how what I said was that counselors are, what I'm saying, magicians. You know, they full of smoke and mirrors.
That's what you think of
Because
me.
at the end of the day, no, at the end of the day, it's easier to talk to a stranger than it is to talk to somebody you know.
That's facts.
Okay, so counselors use that. If you notice, they never counsel anybody that they related to
That's
I mean, that's
facts.
like a
because they
conflict. That's kind of like a
right. That's a
conflict of
conflict of
interest,
interest
though.
exactly because they know each other.
Well,
You see
not
what I'm saying?
necessarily. I find myself like even being in here. I met a guy yesterday in here who had like apparently a terrible meta breakup, but he was also talking to the person in real life. But he was acting really, really worrying when he was in medical. And Ebony was like, "Why don't you go over there and talk to Rabbit?" And I'm like, "What the hell you want to talk to Rabbit for?" Hell no! Like I was actually being a little mean at first, because for one, I don't be trying to bring my business into here. I mean, I do, but I don't. Not when I'm not in the mood for it. And he just came over there and he started talking. And before I knew it, the man had been talking to me for a whole hour. And I just basically did a lot of, I
That's an hour.
understand.
That's an hour you
Yes.
can't get back.
And, but, I mean, I guess it made him feel better though. He told Ebony it made him feel better. And all I really did was just listen.
Yeah, but he just G'd a whole hour of your life,
I wasn't doing nothing else sitting in the
and
corner
you didn't get
moping
paid
my
for it.
damn self. I didn't. But it's
Yeah.
all right. It's all right. Come on,
Cool, for
Court.
sure.
I
You
seen
came
you
to
up
the
there.
mic. What you had to say?
That's okay. I was
That's
just
okay.
gonna mention. Well, I was just gonna mention that that's true about they don't really counsel anyone that they know
Right.
because I have a friend that's a counselor
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, what I can do for you is give you some names and
Right.
suggest some other people you can
Right.
go to. It shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be me. So
Right.
yeah.
But when I,
Because they're
I just,
personally invested. You know.
Right.
I tend to find it hard to take my hat off, though. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never seen
Like
you with your
for
hat
the
off.
for the most part, would you stop? For the most part, um, you you're a normal person still at the end of the day, right? But sometimes in certain
Depends on
situations,
what you need
or
to know,
talking to your friends or whatever, it comes out. You know,
It does.
like it
It
comes out.
does.
I dealt with it in past relationships. Like I'm one of the people that I don't just give yes or no answers. Sometimes I want to delve into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an explainer,
You're right. It
and
does come
sometimes
out.
people just want yes or no. Or when I'm
Yeah,
talking
they just
to
want you to
my
be a
sisters or
soundboard.
something like that, and like my sister be like, I don't want to hear that, Jazz. I don't want to hear. And I can't help it. I be like, damn, you're right. I need to just be your sister and just say, fuck that nigga with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes I be like, well, what did you do to him?
Hey, you ain't wrong for that though.
So sometimes it comes out, but professionally, no, I wouldn't take any clients that were family, friends, none of that.
Or
Sometimes a person
exes.
don't really want to hear that from you though, because I had situations where I've told a friend about a situation that I had been in about people that I know but they don't know, and they'll be like, "Well, truth be told," and I'll be like, "No, you team Courtney, okay? You don't know them. You team Courtney in this situation."
Yeah,
So
that's
sometimes you don't even, even though it may be a situation where you might be kind of in the wrong, you ain't trying to hear that when you come to
Right,
somebody.
because at that particular time you're trying to be selfish.
I
yeah,
say that all the time. No, you team Courtney in this piece. So get that out your head. Right.
and that's my problem right there.
But also with you being Team Courtney, right? I think the problem is when we talk to our friends and family, even our friends and family could be a therapy to us, right? But we don't
Agreed.
understand it because we expect them to be Team us. If you really
Automatically.
have
Yeah.
somebody that's on your side, they gonna tell you right from wrong. You
You lean
understand?
on yes
Like they
men.
gonna, yeah, they gonna say, "Hey, nah, you wrong on this, bro." Or
Right.
hey, you did this wrong. You did something incorrect here. If you expect them to be team you, then are they really team you? They not.
Right.
Not if they
They
lying to
not.
you.
So when it comes to therapy, especially in the black community, I'll be honest with you. Therapy in the black community, oh my God. And I'm sorry if there's I don't want to violate your world in any kind of way. But I'm just
Oh,
gonna
you
speak from the
good?
heart and speak factually. Is that okay?
Go ahead,
Go
best
ahead.
friend.
If we're talking therapy, then we're talking about the mind. We're talking
Uh
about
huh.
the mental state. And so
Okay.
now we have to go through academic states with the DS1 to the DSM-1 to the DSM-5. That's
Okay.
all rooted in white supremacy. So we cannot literally, and I hate to sound like a hotep because I'm not, but we cannot talk about black therapy if we are talking about what has been written in the books with mental therapy because it works differently for black communities, right?
Okay.
The
That's
black
Yeah.
why it's
communities.
important
I can kind of
for
Wait,
understand
Go
that.
people
ahead.
like me who are of black African American origins to be in my field.
okay, Red,
Right.
you put your gum up.
It
Gun up.
is, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Oh,
if
I got
I guess
spooked
what
when
I'm
he said
saying is
he didn't want to
rabbit.
violate the world.
Right.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't, but also rabbit.
This
If we're
my
saying
homie in
that,
real life, so I know his joke side. I wasn't sure
Okay.
what it was gonna come to. I didn't know he was gonna still stay serious.
yeah, no. I'm a very intellectual person at the end of the day, and
Come on,
so
big dog,
I
cook.
understand what's going on. And so if you look at literally, if we talk about mental health in the black community, it is still based off what has been done to us on the white side, right?
Okay.
On what's happened. So we have to actually unpack mental health in the black community versus using what the white community has provided us in that space. We
That's
have a certain
facts.
Agreed.
space here and where we're
Agreed.
right. And so, like you just said, that's why it's great for you to operate in your field. However, what field did you work in and learn from? Did you learn from the white supremacy side? Or are we strictly talking about a black standard? There has
Is it me
not been
this
a
time?
black standard. So if we're going to talk about mental health in the black community, we have to talk about setting a black standard and what we've been through, what we're going through when it comes to black men, black women, all of these things that we encompass. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay, I'll step down.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Anybody else want to add to that? Okay, I'm totally in agreement to what he said. You know,
Me
I
too.
think
Yeah, me too.
it's so often, you know what I'm saying, we don't look at those different dynamics of
That's right.
counseling and psychotherapy. You know, we look at it from, you know, where we're taught from. You know what I mean? So he made a very good point. You know, which side of the fence are we on when we're
You
teaching?
know,
He definitely
used
did.
to-
That's why the best teachers don't really use books.
Absolutely not.
We use
They use,
life.
they use life.
We
Right.
use,
They use
we
life.
use life knowledge.
I never
Experience.
knew
don't.
that.
Half the
I never
stuff
knew
I
that. I
say
thought it was
came
all
from
textbook
what
type
I
stuff.
saw growing up. When I'm talking to these, I mostly talk to young black women who are in their late teens or early 20s. When I'm talking to these ladies, I don't be telling them stuff that I read in a book, because ain't no book gonna tell the woman who's gangbanging right now, who think that she need to be out in the streets, the stuff that she needs to hear. But me, who used to be gangbanging and out in the streets, can give her the proper advice. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not here to tell you that your mental state is messed up and push pills on you. I'm here to talk to you, help you, and give you the proper advice that I feel like you need to advance in life.
Well, let me ask you a question, Rabbit. So why is it that when in order for you to be like a psychiatrist or something like that, like you need this textbook information?
Well, that's because you need it so that you could just go on to school. But okay, like a doctor, I'll give you a perfect example. I got my cousin, he's a doctor, and he'll tell you that there's been several situations. He's a surgeon, okay? He'll tell you it's been several situations where he's had to ignore what the books would have told him
Okay.
so he could save a life.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
deep.
sometimes you got to ignore, like Sheldon said, where these books coming from. They're not really there to help our community.
Not at all.
Absolutely.
So you
that's
have
what
to
I always-
sometimes you have to ignore that book so you can save a life, and that goes with counseling too. You say we save lives.
But my problem is that we're still using it as a basis. We're using it as a foundation, right? If the foundation doesn't fit, it's like a house, right? So I deal in real estate. And if you have a foundation on a house that's not meant for that ground, you can't build certain foundations where it doesn't belong. The foundation is going to crack eventually, right? So when it comes to mental therapy
Hey,
or
Brother
mental
Sky.
well-being, if the foundation doesn't apply, then why are we putting it there in the first place?
Well, mental health applies to everything.
It does, yes, but the foundation of the mental health that you've learned from, or anybody's learned from, when they get into a specialized field, it does not apply to black
Well,
people.
I'm not necessarily saying that everybody in here needs counseling, but the topic is more so based on, do you think it is important to take care of your mental health?
And I
Like
get
even
that.
like with strong men, some strong men, they think that holding back their feelings and holding in their emotions and how they feel is healthy. It's
That's
not
not strong.
So
That's not strong.
strong.
That's weak.
exactly.
That's weak.
So I'm
That's
not
right.
saying that they need to make an appointment with their nearest, psych doctor. I'm saying, do you all feel like it's important for that man to have an outlet, whether it be his mom, his sister, his woman? Hell, he could talk to a wall.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not
Now-
saying y'all need to go see counseling. I want to know how.
No,
important is it?
everybody needs to go seek counseling. I don't care who you are. I don't care
I
who you
disagree.
are.
I totally disagree with
okay,
that.
that's fine. Listen,
Yeah, I'm
at
gonna
the
tell you
end
that
of the
right
day,
now. I'm a counselor, and everybody does not need to come. Sometimes people need to just y'all go ahead and talk that out in your mind, big dog.
and you
Right.
know what? Here's the thing: talking it out in your mind is something totally different. Because here's the thing about influence. That's what counseling is about. And I think you spoke on
Exactly.
that. Some people don't need influence.
Well, I've
right?
talked to. I had one client in particular. I give you a perfect example. I had one client in particular who I use a lot of analogies when I'm talking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So she hung on my every word. And when I would give her advice, she would go do what she thought I was saying. And when it didn't work out for her, she would come back and be like, that didn't work. And then she'd try to chew me out. And I'd say something else to her, and she'd go out and she'd try do something else that she thought I said. And that ain't work. Da, 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 da. That went on for about a whole 5 weeks, back and forth, back and forth. She'd come see me once a week, back and forth, back and forth. Everybody does not need counseling.
I think
Sometimes
I
she
don't-
should have just prayed and followed her heart, baby. Because if somebody is telling you something, you cannot blame the outcomes on that person.
Right, but again, what I said is that you're talking about the influence you had on this person, right?
Right.
She didn't have to take that influence. There's a difference. See, like for instance, I don't know, Tyree or King. Hey, bro, you ever got on the phone when your homeboys, you like, man, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And they give you their opinion, and you like, that ain't gonna work for me.
Right.
That's counseling. At the end of the day, that is counseling.
Exactly.
You cannot take everybody's advice to heed. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. And yes, that's inside of you. You got to talk about that inside of you. I think that may be the problem that we're speaking about. Like, I don't have, if I come to you right now, and you and I have had some conversations, but not in depth. If I come to you right now and say what's going on in my life, and you say, oh, you should do X, Y, and Z. And in my right mind, I know that don't work for me.
See, that's not.
I'm
you're
not
getting
trying to be
proper counseling.
influenced. Right. No, you gave me proper counseling. You gave me what you felt would be right. You did not give me what would work for me. And I will understand that. I will determine that. I will discern that. Right. That's what we have to talk about when we talk about counseling. Does that make sense?
Let me chime
So-
in for 1 second. There's an
Yes, sir.
old saying that goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's right.
And what the writer was saying is that you have to be ready to receive. If you're not ready to receive,
That's
then you can't be
facts.
taught. You
That's
can't
right.
be counseled.
That's why when
can't-
I first start, the first question I ask somebody after they didn't got done ranting,
But
and raving,
also-
I ask them, "What do you think you should do?"
But also, there's an old saying
I
that
want to hear
says
what
the
you have to
teacher.
say
I would
first.
definitely get my money back. Definitely.
There's also an old saying that says the teacher or the customer is not always right. Yeah, right. The teacher is not always right.
Right.
Yeah, in some instances where you challenge the teacher, and that's what I'm saying. Just like she said with her client, it's like I'm an avid reader. I read everything from history to mental health to business books. Like for instance, there's one book that I love to death, but it's the most narcissistic book you could ever read in life.
And that
How
is-
to Influence People, right? I think it's
Oh.
called
I
have you ever
thought
heard of
you
it?
was
It's
gonna
called
say- I
or
thought
the
you was gonna
42
say
Laws of Power.
48
is
Laws
one
of
of-
Power.
The
That's what I
48
thought you
Laws
was
of
gonna say,
Power.
yeah.
That's one
the
of
most
them.
narcissistic. You right about
Man,
that.
that book is crazy. And then also how to influence and win people, how to win people and influence people, or something like that.
You know
Like,
what? All of Robert Greene's books is like that.
Man, it's crazy.
The
So
Art of Seduction, 50
Yes.
all that. All of
So
them.
what I love about reading those books is that it tells you how to love yourself, how to be into yourself, right? Because
It
it's
also tells you how to
narcissistic as hell.
manipulate other people
How to manipulate other people.
skillfully.
But see,
Skillfully,
what it doesn't
that's
tell,
what it means. Skillfully control other people.
absolutely. But if you also read those books, if you can actually look into yourself and see the opposite of it. And I say this all the time. I've told people this, like the things that I operate off of, I operate in love and I operate in excellence. I operate in the spirit of love and excellence at all times.
That's right.
All times. So no matter if I read a book like that and I take its advice or whatever the case may be, is that going to steer me from being who I am? No. It's the same thing with counseling. You can't be different from who you are with counseling. She can give me all the advice she wants to. He can give me all the advice he wants to. But who I am is gonna prevail either way because I'm not gonna take that advice. And that's the problem with counseling.
Well, no, there's a
that makes
difference
sense.
because it makes a lot of sense to me, but there's a difference because most people that I counsel aren't who they are when they walk into that room. They're trying to portray something different. Like again, once I say the
Right.
young woman who trying to be a gangster. That's not who she really is. I talked to that lady. Very intelligent, has a 4.0
say that to
GPA,
people in here.
but she don't think that she should go to college because she feel like it's more important to be out selling drugs so she can hustle for her family. That's not
But
who
is
she
that
is.
not who she is?
So she's not a gangster.
Why is she not a gangster?
I'm a gangster.
that-
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, listen.
She's not a
We-
gangster.
But Rabbit, now
Yeah,
we're
we can smell
talking
you coming.
nature. But see, hold up. Now we're talking nature versus nurture. And so what you are doing is helping somebody see their nature versus what they've been nurtured to do.
Their
Does that
reality.
make sense?
Right.
That
So-
makes
It
sense.
makes sense.
Yes. So nature versus nurture is what we're talking about. Are you meant to be this person, or have you just been this person because this is how you've grown up to be, or
But
this is what you
that's what I'm
came to be?
saying. Counseling is a part of that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
We're-
sometimes, like I said, when I was talking to the guy yesterday, he kept saying like he was contradicting himself. Right, the guy I met on the metaverse. I didn't expect to get feelings for her, but I did, and I don't understand it though. It's stupid. I don't think people should meet people on the metaverse. But then he'll turn around and say, I'm saying like he'll be like, this is fake. Like it's not real. Nobody should meet on here. But then he'll turn around and say, but every time I take my headset off, it's affecting my real life.
His
You're-
feelings are
real.
real.
it's real.
Exactly.
Right. His feelings are real. Right.
So what you're saying, you're
Can I get
contradicting.
on the panel and get off the mic? Because
Yeah, because you're not gonna shut up or let nobody else get a turn. Come on in here and sit down.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on, you can't just run in. Just hold on. He gonna bring you in. Come on, sit down over there.
There you go.
Oh Lord, you done walked all the way up. Just get in the seat.
I'm in here, man. Dang.
Okay, Kofa, so come on back to the mic.
Wait, Tyree wanted to say something 10 minutes ago,
Where you
but
at?
somebody won't stop talking.
I forgot what the hell. Oh, wait. So, damn, what was I get ready to say? It was a point in time, and I kind of still don't
You
really
can bring
believe
Corey
in-
Short in here too.
Yeah, might as well.
I really don't too much. I didn't really too much believe in counseling because I feel like sometimes the counselor really can't relate to me to be able to give me her honest opinion on my situations.
That's facts.
So when you
I
said
can't
that,
figure out how to get in here either.
Right here,
Okay.
baby.
Right.
Right here.
when you
just
said,
walk.
Carefully. Carefully.
There you go.
That's how you get in carefully.
What are y'all
Britt Brett,
doing?
how
They
you doing,
trying to
Britt
jump
Brett?
over the couch.
uh-huh.
Hey, Britt Brett, how
Hey,
you
welcome,
doing,
Britt
beautiful?
Brett.
Come on, Britt Brett.
Welcome,
What's
Steph.
up, Stefan?
Come on, have a seat, man. We
Stephon,
into some,
21.
we
That's
engaged in
Steph.
some real conversation. Go ahead,
Welcome
Tyree.
to From the
Finish
Real.
your
Am I
thought.
too close?
When when I've seen people go to counseling sometimes, and how can you give an opinion on something that you have never, when you said, a lot of this stuff come from your experiences and stuff like that, what if the person that needs counseling is talking to you about an experience that you have no knowledge of?
Well,
Personal knowledge, per
nowadays
se.
there's a couple apps that help you determine who is best for you. For
So
one,
you
I
gotta
always
go back to
tell
the textbook.
I
again.
always tell no, there are apps. Well, I'm speaking of, let me look around. And okay. There's some apps that help our people find our people as far as
okay.
help wise, which is a step in the right direction. Now, there's still no telling when you get there. You don't know if they're going to be able to relate to you. And some
Right.
people still are very, very, very textbook. But
Right,
then,
right.
like I said, there's those of us who go, half of what we're telling you comes from intellectual and intelligence standpoint. The other half of what we're telling you comes from common sense and street smart.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But there are several apps that help. There's one that I'm on right now. I'm a part of it. It's called Therapy for Black Girls.
Mhm.
Right? You can go on there and you'll find somebody that looks like you, because that's, like I said, that's usually the step in the right direction that can maybe help you a little bit. I
You don't
tell
look
people
like
this
me,
all
but
the
go ahead,
time.
Pam.
People don't they laugh at me and they think I'm being racist, but I don't think young black women should go see old white women or old white men, because
Nope.
I recently I was talking to my ex somebody, and I was telling him that I got offered a job, working for DHS, right? They wanted me to basically, because I also have a degree in behavioral analytics. They wanted me to be an applied behavioral analyst for the Department of Human Services, where I just go and I observe children in the foster system, and then I go back and tell my boss, this person, he got ADHD, he needs pills. They wanted me to be a glorified pill pusher and also a fall person. You know what I'm saying? And I turned it down because I don't believe in pushing pills, especially on children, especially when most of them kids, they just need their ass whooped. Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
nature of
Like,
healthcare,
when
though.
I don't-
That's
I-
the goal to push the pills on
Exactly.
everybody for
And I
everything.
talked to him about it, and I said, look, I don't feel right doing this.
What the pills
If you
do?
don't feel right, then you shouldn't do it. That's what he told
What
me.
the pills do? Make you high? That's about it, right?
No, so, I
the
mean, some
pills
of
are
them
so
work.
crazy.
I
It
take
helps them
medication. It
focus,
depends
like,
on.
Man,
when it's
hey, coming
needed-
from
Make you high.
Man.
When it's needed, it helps them
It
direct their
depends.
focus.
Like,
When it's
Listen,
needed.
coming from someone who has a child that has ADHD and autism, okay?
mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, let me follow you back. At the end of the day, some of those things can help.
Yes,
can help.
they do.
But a lot of the times when we're talking about black children,
No,
especially
I'm not gonna say that's another thing. All these children aren't black. It's
No,
just a generalized foster
listen, I
system.
don't
But
ca-
I
I
don't
don't
believe
ca-
in
I
doing
don't-
it to any child.
listen, I don't care about them. I'm talking about us. At the end of the day, if you look at the statistics amongst black children versus all the children, if you want to go that way, you'll see that they always want to diagnose us with ADHD and
Always. You
ADD,
sure right about that.
and they want to
Yeah, they're
diagnose
always.
us with something. They want to put us in they want to give us an IDP, put us in four or five classes, all of that, right? And I've seen it, I've lived it, I've been there. And so the problem is a lot of the times they want to put us in a box and say, oh, your
Hey,
child should act
Katniss.
like this.
Hey,
But
Katniss.
see, what's up, Katniss?
Right.
So another part of the problem is that when we talk about this, we are coming of a stance of where we're like, okay, I want to put my child in a good school. But see, when we talk about black people, a good school is really a white school.
Right.
That's they consider a good school.
That's what
Yeah.
they consider a good.
That's
school.
what's got the highest test scores. We're not talking about the urban community. Let's be real. You have some good places in the urban communities that have really good schools. But are we really trying to put our
that's
kids
based
there?
off of
No.
what the social
I'm gonna stop
standard
you right
is.
there. They don't
Go ahead.
have good schools. They have good teachers.
Good
It's a difference.
teachers.
It's not even that. It don't even
And
be
see,
that.
it doesn't.
the
It
whole
still doesn't
design-
resonate as a good school.
The whole
It's not-
design of the school is not for our people.
Us. It's
You see what
not
I'm
for
saying?
us.
I don't
But there
know.
are
It's
good teachers in those
2023,
schools.
and I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I have a daughter who's a freaking genius. Okay, she goes to the academy in the school. She got a scholar. I mean, in the city, she got a scholarship to go there. Okay, it is a school for us because this not no white area that I'm in. It's predominantly Hispanic and black. The principal is a black lady. Most of the teachers there are black women or black men or even Hispanic, brown
what does
people,
the
black and
staff
brown
look like?
people.
I mean, I'm sorry. What does
I
the
just
school
told
look
you.
like as far as the kids?
Is it a charter school?
I didn't hear it.
It's an academy.
Academy.
So yeah,
Okay.
they are funded by the government, okay, or private loans. You have to test in to get in, and once you get in, you still got to pay the money to keep your child in. You got to participate. They have all of that. But my youngest daughter goes to a completely different school because, for one, the school is first grade and up. My youngest is in kindergarten. But I don't
break
stay
these
in no
things
white
down.
area. I don't stay in the
You
white
don't. Okay,
neighborhood.
you don't stay in a white area, but I do. I'm in Arlington, Texas.
But what I'm saying is,
I stay in a.
Your,
Go
we,
ahead.
people
They let you
say
in there?
good school based off of that is
They let you in?
society standards.
Ain't that what the
Everybody
NRA or
goes
some
off
shit
of
like that?
society
And
standards.
and that's what I'm trying to.
you have to
tell
go
you.
off your own standards.
We can
I didn't
go
want my
about
daughter at no school with predominantly white people. I was gonna actually move to take my daughter to a school where I grew up at, which is predominantly white. And my grandma told me, you don't need to be there. I mean, black kids is at that school. I
That's
look
right.
up the demographics to places. I be like, in general, how many black families live in this
That's
city?
right.
And that
Yeah.
that shit is say 5.
Hold on,
experience
real quick, before
from me.
Katniss says.
Sheldon, hush. Go ahead,
Okay.
Katniss.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what I want to say, so I do agree with some of the stuff y'all are saying, right? I went to a HBCU. This went for me when I went to college. I
Okay.
picked Bowie State because it was a black school, right?
Okay.
Finished Bowie State. I went to Catholic. I would say Catholic was a better school. I do agree they had better equipment, but one thing for me, being a person of color, because it's a Catholic white school, it made that campus a lot smaller for me until I got, I mean, at least a
imagine.
year in, and then I started kind of branching out because I come from a predominantly black area.
You should know you
and
used to you
even my
went to a
school.
Catholic school. You were
Well,
free.
I went there. I went.
It
no,
all
but I
makes
went- I went
sense.
to. Yeah, I went to. Yeah, I know, right? That's why I learned I can't drink. I do not drink. Damn Caucasian kids drink like stomachs of steel.
Oh,
It's
man.
not for
I'm
us.
telling you, they
Crazy,
go so
bro.
I
hard.
learned.
They
That's
go
when I
so
started
hard.
drinking
bro, you want a
alcohol.
beer?
It's not for me.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Beers up. We talking out of
Yeah.
barrel.
Hey, bro, you
Like,
want a bit? Let's do beer
and
pong.
they sharing drinks with each other. It's weird, but
Hey,
that's
Irish.
cultural. Like,
Welcome
they
to
got a
From the
whole
Rib
bunch
to
of
the
stuff I
Root.
got questions about.
I'm serious.
but-
I'm at a Christian college right now, and
Yeah.
it's full of hellions. It's full
Yeah,
of
yeah,
hellions.
you would think that
Yeah.
these are like upstanding, and I'm in
Right.
DC, so you know they're gonna go. Man,
What's
these
up, Nubian
kids
Queen?
turn
Welcome to
up
Rib to
like
Root.
crazy people.
From the
But
Rib to the
I
Root.
can say though, it is a big difference. It's a very big difference. I'm discussing that right now with my son because he's a senior this year, like what college he's going to. And I'm not gonna lie, I told him, "Look, don't go to college if you're gonna waste my money." I ain't gonna lie, let's put you in a trade school. You're
That's
amazing with your
conversation, yeah.
hands. Let's expand on what you're
Yeah.
good at. You know what I'm saying? Instead of
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
get very smart, but less technical jobs. And to me, I'm not no less than somebody who went to
They're
college
not.
and is this. And I told him, let's put you in this, and by the time you're 25, you'll be good. You won't need me. You don't have to move out. You respect my house because you're gonna be a grown man, but you can stay here because I want to set you up for the future. Like it's
That's what's
out
up.
here.
That's
Ooh,
dope.
that's a
That's
world.
That's dope.
That's
I told him
something
not
we need to
put him
talk
out at
about
eight.
as
And that's
well.
something
Yeah,
else
we
you gotta
do.
unpack, right?
We don't, we
we
don't,
gotta
we don't
unpack
talk
for
enough
us.
about generational wealth.
Yes.
Yes,
No,
and building
forget
it.
generational
Yes.
wealth.
That's
We
what's
don't
up.
talk
Set them
about
up for
people.
the future, yeah,
Yes.
and making sure
And
they
that's what
understand.
I told my daughter. That's
Finances
exactly
and
what I
everything.
told my daughter when she graduated from high school. I was like, "Do you want to go to college? Let me know this now." And she's like, "I don't think college is for me, Mama." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. So what do you want to do?" She's like, "I want to go to
Right.
college school." Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. So
Yeah.
about a year after she said she wanted to take a gap year, I was fine
Uh-huh.
with that too. And so she decided she wanted to listen to her cousin, and they wanted to get an apartment and move out.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "I don't think you should move out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
But
you
you
should move
know,
out."
at
But-
the end of the day, I think that's something we should break down as black people too, because I think we've evolved too when we talk
Yeah,
when we have these
absolutely.
talks. A lot of black people are like, oh, when you get out my when you turn 18, you out of my
You gotta
house.
get out of my house. And
You
and
gotta
I
get
told her-
out,
Yes.
right?
And I
It's
told
like,
her.
Yeah,
And
I
don't
was
you
out-
dare
I
get
was out there
pregnant.
then.
Don't
Yeah.
I
you
told
dare
her. I said,
have
"Look,
an accident and
had
get
you-"
pregnant.
Right. I was like, I got pregnant with you at 18.
Mhm.
You have, in my opinion, reached a feat because a lot of people are expecting you to have be a teen mother too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you didn't make me a grandmother
Mhm.
before I was 40, and I thank you for that. Now I'm just saying I don't want you to move out yet. I was like, because as long as you're here, you're my responsibility. That means
That's
you
a
don't have
that's
to
a
worry
big
about
problem in the black
shelter.
community.
Yeah, I
A
was like,
lot
you
of
don't have to worry
black
about shelter.
parents
You
feel
don't have
like
to worry
they
about
don't
food,
owe their
anything
children
like that. Right, and I was like,
when
if
their
you stay,
children
I
didn't even
want
ask
you-
to be here.
That's correct.
That's the stuff she give me all the
correct.
time though. At 23, and I'm like, I can't be held accountable for that no more.
23.
At 23, I'm like, look.
Well, I mean, I'm
you been
still
gone,
like
I
that
can't
at
tell you.
27, but that's because my parents
She's
didn't
like,
do
"Ma,
nothing
I
for
ain't asked to
27
be
years.
here. That was you and your irresponsibility.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear that. What I'm saying is, I was like, I want you to stay. I want you to build your credit. I want you to work on this. I want you to work on that. I had a friend that works at Southeast East for you to do this and blah 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 blah. And I was like, and all of this was contingent on whether or not you stayed at home. If you stay home and set yourself up to be successful when you do step out, you won't have to worry about coming back. What she do? She ran out there with her cousin.
Yeah.
After 4 months, everybody lost their job but her. Okay,
Right.
all the bills fell in her lap. I almost drove her crazy.
See, that has a big impact on the black mental health community as well, not as workers, but the mental health standpoint.
Yeah, because you
how
wasn't ready for
I
that
told
level
we
of
just had
responsibility.
this
You know
talk
what?
in
This
the
all
Fern
goes back to the
podcast
school
of
system
how
too.
your parents are usually, when you're in the black household, your parents are usually your first bullies.
Well,
We scream at our kids a lot. We curse at them. You know what I'm saying? We disrespect their feelings because we feel like y'all children. You know
I'm
what I'm saying? And
depressed. You
I'm
better
one of them
depress
people.
them
I'm not
dishes
gonna
type.
lie.
Yeah.
My grandmama tell me off all the time because I told my children, don't ever let nobody disrespect you and belittle you. I don't care how old they are. Older people have that they can say whatever because they're older mentality. You will never disrespect my children. So some lady told my daughter that she don't like how her hair looked because my daughter attempted to do her own hair. I don't like it. You should have just let your mama do your hair. And so my daughter told her, I don't like that you bald head and you have no hair. Because you're not finna disrespect my daughter just
Okay.
because she is a little lady.
Let me
That
chime
affects
in for
their
1
mental
second.
capacity.
I understand what you're getting at. However, it's a different era. I come from a different generation.
I,
come
and I,
from
I
the
do like to
generation
give
of
account
yes,
to
ma'am.
generation differences.
No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Facts. That's respect.
So I come from respecting people that are older than me as a child. As an adult, I still extend a certain amount of respect until you show me that you're not worthy of that respect. Right?
See, I come from a family where
But as a child,
it doesn't matter
I was
how old you are.
always respectful to people that were older than me.
It's
the
a
reason why
difference
is
from
because
respect, though, Boss King.
Let me tell you. The reason why is because now you're grown and you want other people's kids to respect you. Right or wrong?
But you have to give respect.
Right or wrong?
That's right. But you have to
Okay.
give respect.
I totally agree with that. But nowadays, you got kids that don't care how old you is.
Well,
They'll
in
cuss
our
you out in a
community,
minute.
that's because
you see that on here.
That's because after generations of being disrespected simply because you're younger than somebody, people get irritated with it. I'm 27
that's
and my
not it.
family still treat me like I'm the baby of the family. I was raised by my grandparents.
Nah, I
My
respectfully
auntie
disagree.
is
You
like
want to know what it
7
is,
years
though?
older than
What
me.
it is?
You know what I'm saying? So
What
go
I
ahead,
do
Kat.
agree with you, Rabbit, to a degree, but also I
To
do
a
agree with
degree.
Boss King. It's generational. You got to
Generational,
remember,
right.
we're literally only 4
Different
generations
generations.
out, depending on how old we are from slavery. Our
Right.
people were listening to the slave master before that. Then it was the police and the government and any person that wasn't them. So what it is their time era, and this is where me and my mother, as I got older, had to come. I had to understand her, because she's so tough. And I'm just like, damn, this lady like a brick wall. But I understand the more that I listen to her
Yep.
and see, they didn't have the resources, the tools. They didn't get the we have an emotional gap in their generation to them. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
facts.
And what we did is we were traumatized by it. So when we have our kids,
Absolutely.
we make sure our kids are getting this best of the best or all this emotional support. So then they become entitled. Because I'm not gonna lie, my son has a level of entitlement that sometimes I'll be like,
I hate
what
it.
the
you?
F?
I don't see my mom.
But I would never put him in extreme conditions like my mom did me, because I'm not gonna lie, as a child,
See?
she hurt a lot of my feelings, but it did push me. But the new ones are not built like that. They don't understand the heart. It's way more. It's too easy for real. It's
I
a
tell
mixture of
them-
so much
I
stuff.
tell them this
even
is the
information.
microwave
Girl,
generation.
remember we used to look up shit in the phone book.
generation.
But
Yeah,
see,
like,
my
remember we used to look
mom.
up stuff in the phone book.
Immediate.
They can't even write in cursive. They
My
are
mom
so
is from
alienated from a
you
lot of
all's
stuff. They don't even know.
generation. You know what I'm saying? My mom is 42.
Right.
I'm 27, right?
Oh,
She's
shit.
one of those you got to struggle because
We
I
went to high
struggle
school
type
together.
of people. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
I don't believe in
So
that. I tell my daughter
that's-
all the time, I got it out the mud, so you don't have to.
Exactly.
I don't want you to have to.
But my
Well,
mom
see, I
got that
disagree with
from
that.
her parents. My
gotta
mom,
chime
she
in.
she
I disagree with that.
she got that from her parents. So it's just a generation to generation. So me being the type of mom where they talk about me because I spoil my kids, but I feel like your kids don't need all that. Why not?
You got some pretty.
Well,
Well, let me-
what do they do? And what do they do? They go to school. That's their only job. Parents think. When I grew up, my mama thought that my job was babysitting my little sister, who's only 5 years younger than me, and washing her dishes and running up and down the
But
stairs
see,
doing laundry.
I
when all I
expect you
needed
to
to be
think
was a
like that
child.
because you are 27. I expect you
But
to
see,
think like that.
people forget
However-
that children should stay in a child's place. Because then when that child gets out of their body and you tell them, you need to stay in the child's place. I didn't need to stay in the child's place when I needed to do everybody in the house's laundry and I was only 7. I didn't need to stay in the child's place when I was 13 and you wanted to go out with your friends, so I had to babysit. So
Now,
don't
that
tell me
I
to
don't
stay.
identify with, but doing chores
Now,
at
I'm not
7
saying
and 6
disrespect
and 8 and-
nobody.
yeah,
But
I
I
get that.
am saying that older people, because I used to be at one of them, what you call them, a home health aide. I worked with older people. Baby, them old people would say whatever the hell came to their mind just because they felt like they could.
Shout out to the old people we
And
love. They
out
don't
of
care about
respect,
nothing no more.
out of
Let me-
respect,
Red,
let
I
her
would be quiet.
you bogarting the mic right now. Red. So let me hit on what Court for Short said about
Getting it out the mud.
getting it out the mud. This is my opinion. If I hit the lottery tomorrow, I'm rich. My kids ain't rich. You dig what I'm saying? I'm rich. You feel what I'm saying? If I hit on one of my inventions, I'm rich. My kids ain't rich because I don't want them to have what Katniss just said, a sense of entitlement.
And they do, and that's what
I
I say.
want them,
That's why
right?
call
I
them
want them to
microwave
be able to,
generation.
because if I die tomorrow, right? I want them to be able to get it themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's very important in the black family,
Can
to
I
be
say
able
this
to
real
teach
quick?
your kids
And that's why the
how
black
to
community
get it
is still
themselves.
down and the white
Can I,
people
And I
can I
do
say this real
because-
quick? Hold up. I have not spoken in a long time. Let y'all go.
You gotta go.
But you,
Cause they ain't tell
thank
you was bogarting the mic when you
Listen,
talk for
I
an
tell you,
hour.
I'm
I
sorry,
was.
Red.
Hey,
I'm
listen. So
sorry.
check this out, boss. I feel like there's a flawed mentality.
Facts.
Because if you look at, we live in a white supremacist world, and
Right.
so when you look at white supremacy and white
not how
wealth
they did it.
generation, that's not how they do it. They don't care
Nope.
what they kids do with it. It's the fact that they got it. So
And
when
they-
you say
and
that,
all their kids are snobs.
hold up,
and it's
hold up,
due
hold
to
up.
them.
Yes,
And all
hold
their
up.
kids are snobs.
Hold
They
up.
may be
and
snobs,
you know
boss,
what?
but they rich.
might be snobs, but they rich snobs. And at the end of the day, they can do what they
Okay.
want to. Wait. Let me say
Go
this.
ahead, go ahead.
Because you say that you rich, but your kids not rich.
They're
And that's
not.
okay. And if you want your kids to get it out the mud, that's okay.
I
But
want
it's a
them to at least
difference.
try.
Listen, ain't no try.
them to at least try.
Because if you are rich the way you talking about, because there's a different thing when we talking about rich. When we talking about wealthy financially, or when we talking about rich when it comes to inner self, right? We have to teach our kids how to be rich inner self. We have to teach them how to actually do things inner self and also operate outside of financially, right? So if you do that, then your kids will be rich regardless, because even if they lose all of your riches, they're gonna get out there and get their own, and they still gonna love and support and do the things they need to do for their people. That's
If
how
they
we have to
lose
look
all
at it.
my
You can't
riches,
do it
now,
like that,
now
dog.
wait a minute. Now I got to call you on the BS.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna stop you where you lying at. If they lose all
I
my
don't know you
riches,
lying there, boss.
Oh, wait,
I'm
wait,
gonna,
wait. Go
listen,
ahead.
listen.
Go ahead.
If they lose all my riches,
Your
then how
riches.
they gonna go out and get some more riches?
I don't know, because guess what? If you
That
was
means
the
that they're not
father-
good with
Wait,
money,
no,
right?
I'm gonna tell you. You asked me a question, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
If you was the father that you should have been, then you teach your
That
kids
I am.
how to
That I am.
Okay,
that
then
he
if you
is. Don't
you
do that,
excuse
Sheldon.
me. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about your
That I
personal
am.
life.
Talking about
I don't know you
hypothetical
like that.
situations, so-
Yeah, exactly. Hypothetically, if you are the father that you are and supposed to be, if your kid was to lose everything right now, you should have taught them the principles
Financial
and
management.
the financial mindset to go get it from day one. It shouldn't
Okay.
have to be if you lose
And
my
that's
riches.
what I said.
My riches ain't got nothing to
It
do
comes
with you.
back full circle
But-
to what I said.
But
Think about it.
at the end of the day,
Welcome
Rewind
in,
the tape,
cutie, the
Tyree.
sweetest. How you doing, beautiful?
okay, I'm gonna
Rewind
say
the
this
tape.
and I'm gonna mute. I got some stuff to do. Listen, at the end of the day, if your kids lose everything that you work for, they either gonna understand that they work for it too, or either they gotta work harder to do something else, because your dreams ain't your kids' dreams, bro. And it's never gonna be like that, because 3 generations from now, you might be a lawyer. You got a whole attorney firm that been 3 generations down. That 4th generation's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
I ain't finna be a lawyer.
Right?
Hallelujah.
Right.
That's what my
Either,
situation
either
is.
way, so
I'm finna be an
either-
artist.
I will not
Okay,
do what my mama
even
do.
if it's an
Stay on
artist,
her.
but either way, you have to understand that your kids' dreams is not your dreams. So the only thing you can do is instill in them that they got to
Yeah.
get it however they do, and they have to use their understanding, their intelligence from what you have taught them to get the legacy that they want as well as what you've built. So it's a
Okay.
common ground. I don't know if you've ever
Bruh.
seen a Venn. Hold up. I don't know if you've ever seen a Venn diagram, right? A Venn diagram where you got two circles and there's something in between that always connects. You have to be the one to be in the middle for your Venn diagram because they may be outside,
Shout
but
out to Venn
something has to
diagrams. I ain't
connect.
heard that in a
And that's all I'm
G
gonna
and
say.
China.
I'm gonna go on mute. We're good.
Okay, so let me address a few things.
Step Howard.
First thing I want to address is
Hey, Howard.
uh,
Thank you
you
for
basically
coming from
said
the real
what
to
I
the
said
real.
in the beginning, that they got to get it on their own, right? They got to know how to get it on their own. That's what I said. You
No,
came
he
back to
said
that same
you
point.
got to teach them how to get it on their own.
Why would I not teach them how to get it on their own?
Well, I think that was the misunderstanding of what.
I'm sorry.
That's what
I'm
he
sorry.
was
I
saying.
get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking
I-
to certain
I
people, I
do
got to
feel
go
like
A,
this is a
B, C,
microwave
D, E,
generation.
F, G. I get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't skip none. I get it. However, what I'm saying to you, bruh, is that if they lose my money, then would that say I taught them how to be financially disciplined? Obviously not, right? Because they
think it's
lost
all
all
the-
my money.
I
I
think
mean,
it's
you
all
taught 'em,
dependent
they
on the
just
type of
didn't-
person
They
that
should,
they are,
if anything, they're supposed to take my money and make more money.
right?
If I taught them
Exactly.
correctly,
But
right?
you can raise a child right, and it still turn
Right.
out wrong.
Right.
Well, yeah, okay. There's a difference between being stupid and being ignorant. Stupid means that you know and you do not do. Ignorant means that you never knew,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Right?
I can agree with that.
Okay, so if I taught them well, because so many of our parents have taught us well, and we still went out and did some goofy shit,
Right.
right?
I
So if I
definitely
taught them well and they choose not to, you know what I'm saying, use what I taught them, then that's on them.
They was being
Right.
ignorant. Right.
I still
And-
think it's a flawed way of thinking, though, boss. Because, like you said, the white people are snobs, but they snobs whose children and whose children and whose children will be taken care of.
Now, I do stand corrected on that. I'm not. I don't want y'all to think that I've meant that I wouldn't give them my money. What I'm saying is, I would want them to try to get their own as long as I'm living, right?
Right.
And then when I pass away, of course they got that package coming,
Damn,
right?
what if you
Hey,
live
can I tell you?
you?
Can I tell you something I learned going to being around a couple of white people and just working my last job? What I
Just a
learned
couple,
about
just a couple white people.
just a couple of, I mean, good number of them, you know what I'm saying? A couple of Asians. The Asians are really the ones who are very smart with a lot of with finances.
They are.
Yeah,
They
they
are.
are.
What I tell you.
And
What I
one of
tell
my
you.
closest friends, when
What
I
I
was
tell
in
you,
school,
that's
she
what taught me
told me a
about
lot of
stocks and-
shit.
Yeah, the
So
moms.
one thing that I noticed that they do in their community too, I did this with my son when he was younger, is they really ingrain financial and all that stuff in their children as they're growing. They don't
Cutie.
really
Nubian.
teach them directly. You see what I'm saying? They show them. So like me, right? My son's 17. Ever since he was like 10, I had a wheel.
Wavy was
right?
handed.
Most people do
up,
small
too,
things
Wavy?
like this. They put their child as a beneficiary in their will.
Yes.
No. They do stupid stuff like that where they got to go through probate and pay taxes. No. What you do is
They
you
put it
make
in a trust.
you put it in a trust.
There
You
you
teach
go.
your children
Yeah.
in school, and this goes
Yep.
back to the school
And that
thing.
way it
They
replenishes.
don't teach.
It replenishes.
They don't.
I'm in the
teach
process of
these
doing
kids
all that right now.
How to really do it.
Build
So
the wealth.
2 years ago,
Build and keep the wealth.
2 years ago, my son went. Matter of fact, when my son turned 15, going to 16, when he turned 16, matter of fact, because he better be 18. When he turned 16, I got him a fucking LLC. Right?
Yeah.
I made the LLC. I put him as a trustee on it. Christmas that year, that boy got his first ATM machine. Right? And I keep telling people this, like, we don't ingrain that into them. School, I mean, yeah, it teaches them basic skills because most of them get pushed through anyway. But real life skills, these people ingrain that stuff into their kids so it becomes generational. I mean, we can have, I always tell people anyway, just because you got $1,000, $2,000 in the bank don't mean nothing. Nothing. You can have all this cash in the bank. If you ain't got credit, if you don't understand, oh my God, so many things. Just like I always tell people on your phone, if you download the U.S. Treasury, every 2 weeks or every week you get paid, buy a fucking savings bond. They literally start at $5
Yeah,
or $10.
they do.
They accumulate. I've been doing this shit for
Back in
10,
the day.
15 years now, and I have the app on my phone. That's how many of them I buy.
But
Well, I mean,
Candace,
most people smoke cigarettes. It was a
you know,
$20
you
a
know
pack
what we don't do that white people and Jews do all the time
I like
is
that.
that
what you
they
do.
get these huge life insurance policies, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make their kids a beneficiary, and then that
Absolutely.
starts the wealth. We don't do that because
Absolutely.
we
And it
selfish.
also
We
depends
want
on
to take
what
it all
life
with us.
insurance policy
Yep.
you get. Because you get that good term life, you could go into that life insurance policy
Yes,
and take
ma'am.
money out
Yes,
and keep
ma'am.
Just like I
You
hear
are
people
correct.
talk about
That's how the
401ks.
Rockefellers got
They
rich.
don't talk about Roth IRAs. For one, we have a big gap in understanding what wealth and financial wealth is. We have a huge gap in it. It is so bad. It affects everything. So it's so many things and layers onto this type of situation. Like, I don't know. I do think it starts at the schools. I do think as parents it's our responsibility
Oh, yeah.
to really outside of the school, work with our children, teach our children. Like today, my son came from school. We sit down for an hour. We go through homework. Forget the Oculus. Forget all that other shit. Katniss is out the door. It is mom. We are getting this done. I have to have you able to make smart decisions.
Yeah,
I can't make them all for you, but at least smart decisions that you're gonna stand on. And if you make
That's
one and
facts.
it goes south, you got to stand on that. It is what it is. You're gonna fall. I can't catch them all, but I'm gonna have you make smart decisions and be like productive to what you need to be productive. You know, whatever it is you want to do. Like I tell my son,
Welcome,
if you want to
Chongo.
collect rocks for a living,
Welcome,
cool,
Ari.
but you're gonna fucking get diamonds. You are going to get the fucking diamonds. You're not gonna come back up in here with these regular ass rocks. You get diamonds.
That's
Give a
facts.
damn. Do whatever you want to do, but you got to be the best at it or the best of your ability. That's all I can ask you to do.
Speaking of
That's
that, you got to
That's
be
it.
the best. Do whatever you want to
You
do,
wanna
but be
do.
the best at it.
Just be the best at it. You want to be an asshole? Be the best asshole you can be. Whatever you want to do, you better be the best.
That's fact. It do start in the schools. We just were talking about this
Mhm.
not
It
too
all
long
ties
ago.
in. All
School
ties in.
teach you everything. I don't even remember the last time I used geometry. Okay, but then again, I'm not a construction worker. I'm sure construction workers use it all the time. But you get out of school at 18 and you don't even know how to fill out a freaking W-2. They
Girl, they
teach
can't
you
write in
some.
cursive.
They just basically wasting time. I know.
I'm still
out
mad
here-
about that shit. I
Out
don't
here
know.
at in the
They
schools out
literally
here,
cannot
they don't
read a
even
letter that's
do
written in
spelling
cursive.
anymore.
It looked like
They don't
sad
teach
to
you
me.
It looked like
spelling.
French.
That's sad to me. That's sad to me. I used to work with, teenagers, and I told the girl to give me her signature. And she wrote her name in print. I said, no, baby, your signature. I need your
It
signature.
probably was some emojis with a dot.
And she was like,
I'm talking about some
Miss Courtney,
emojis. Can't you
I
imagine?
don't know how to do that. What do you mean? And then I wrote my name in cursive, and she was like, I can't even read that. I was like, it's
Yeah.
my name.
I'm telling
It's
you.
my name. Ain't no tricks to it. It's not a foreign language. It's a name.
It
And a
starts at
very
home
common
and it starts
generic
in
name
school.
at that.
Oh my God. I'm
As
sorry.
far as like financial literacy, my 8-year-old got her own little Cash App card. She got her own Cash App. You want to give her money for her birthday, Cash App. I give her little Cash Apps for a little weekly money or whatever. And she got her own little Cash App card. And we go shopping. She want to go shopping. She want to go to Dollar Tree all the time. Now, I don't know why my baby is in love with Dollar Tree, y'all, but she already got it. She's smart.
They love Dollar
Get it for
Tree.
cheap. Okay.
She want to make her money straight.
But she
Yeah.
knows that
Mhm.
at first,
That's
when
right.
she got her debit card when she was 7, right? Now she just turned 8. She got it when she turned 7. When she first got it, she wanted to spend it all on candy and this, that, and the next. But then she'd come home and eat all the candy up in 2 days, and
And
then
then
she
it's
wouldn't have
gone.
nothing for the rest of the month. You
Candy's
have
gone
to
and your
learn
money
how to financially be stable. You got to teach them, like Kat said.
And that's
that-
the point. What
so
I was
if your
saying.
kids
Like,
grow-
that's-
Tyree got his
Go
hand
ahead,
up.
Tyree.
Can I share something with everybody too? Add your kids now to your
To your
highest
credit
limit
card.
credit card
Yep.
as an
Already
authorized
did.
user.
I knew he was gonna say
And
that.
tear the credit card up. Add them to it
No.
when you get the card. Throw the card away. Don't even tell them they got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Don't.
It'll
yeah.
pay off. I had to do that for my son. I built all my kids' credit up like
Yep.
that.
Just make them authorized use. You ain't
I
got to
made
get the
them all
card.
I definitely
authorized
did
users,
that
so when
already,
they got
yep.
right when they got of age, then I taught them about credit first, and
Mhm.
I released it to them. Of course, they messed it up. They messed it up, but it's there. Their history it began when they were
and that's
16.
such a beautiful thing
Right.
because that we come off of
My mama
generations
added my
that
name to
didn't
the
know
light bill.
that.
Hey, y'all
They
want to
didn't
know
know
something
that.
real quick? I've been so excited, but this is what I'm doing with my son right now, right? So, because you got a Tesla, right? So
Yeah.
I've been looking at, well, not been looking at. I'm already in the paperwork process of it. I'm buying 5 of those ESV chargers, the level 3s.
Yeah,
It cost
you
me
gonna place
about-
them around the city.
hell yeah. I'm stretching them and they double inch. Let me tell you something. I
I
put
gotta
my
talk to
son
you
on it.
about that.
Let
too.
me tell you something, baby. That's the new gas
much they
station.
cost?
It is.
Hold up. So, Cat,
I've only put out about 60 grand, and that's with the higher end. I'm talking about construction. I'm talking about putting a little a visor up, the
Thank you
add-ons.
for
How
giving
do
me a
you
glimpse of your
generate-
bank account. Thank
I'm,
you.
How do
no,
you
that's
drink-
no, that's his investment on it.
Thank you for giving me a glimpse of
How
your
do
bank
you
account.
generate money off of that? Like when they
So,
use the
it's different
electricity, do
ways.
you?
You can do subscriptions. So what I
Right.
have, right? I've been working with the shopping center. Well, one of the shopping centers, two different leasing companies. So what I do is I rent the space, the 2, 3, 4 parking spaces. I pay for the construction, install on it, stuff like that, right? They run their power unit on it, right? So
Right.
mine has its own meter. So they depending on what kind of system you have. Like I know some Tesla people that have you can subscribe to one where it's monthly and you just go to those stations, or it can be this like you go to a gas station, you pay as you go, depending on how you want to do in what areas. So I'm in between Six Flags, DC, Virginia, all of the military. We in a lot of them out here, right? And a lot of people got Teslas. So
They're Tesla
you set
chargers?
up-
Are they Tesla?
They do-
chargers, or
they do
a
any
different brand?
they do
Any electric car?
they got any electric car because you got adapters, and if you got to do the upgrade for the
right,
adapters,
right,
so
right,
like
right,
$2,000 easy.
Right.
That's
right.
that's no brainer to add that on there, right? You can add on all that stuff. You can do like the new Kias or Scion, they call it
Yeah,
Ionic.
the
They
Ion-
electric, true,
Ionic,
Ionic
yeah.
or something. Yeah, because you start
Yeah.
looking at all the cars. And
Everything has an electric model now. A lot
exactly,
of people just don't
because
know about
they
it.
already said by
Hey, Queen,
2030
welcome to
they
From
want
the Rib to
50% of the
Rib.
cars on the road to be electric. Think about it. That's going to be the new gas station. This right now is a very low income, like easy access. Like, look, you don't need a storefront. You don't need brick and mortar. You don't need a whole bunch of employees. You need yourself. You need time, and you need a balance and a
So
budget.
you need to
That's
rent
it.
that space. You have to rent that space in
Yeah.
the plaza or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And they basically, when they use the electricity or whatever,
How many
it's-
kilowatts
it's-
you use and stuff like that.
right.
Yep.
It's higher for them, and then you get a difference, like you get the surplus of it or something like that.
Right, you get the surplus price price from the leasing center, but you
Uh-huh.
always charge up for the customer. But you
Right,
depending
right.
on how many customers you have, you don't have to really charge up. You might be making I mean, I don't haven't charged the car, but from what I'm looking at the kilowatts, depending on how much they charge,
Right,
the
right.
average of what
It's
we
40 something cent.
estimated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the estimated that you can at least make a week, depending on if you get a good area, 30,000, 20,000, depending
Sheldon,
on
are
your
you
equipment.
talking to
How
us?
fast, like it's
Hold
gotta
on
be
one
level
second.
3 though.
Hold,
It's gotta be
hold,
that
hold.
level 3.
Are you
It's
are you
not gonna
talking
get
to
you no
us?
money.
Sheldon.
No, I think he on mute. He on mute, Sheldon.
No, I'm not trying to stop
I
her,
think
but
he's coming
I've been seeing him
Sheldon's
talking,
on
and,
mute. Yeah, he
and
on
I'm
mute.
trying to
rapping.
figure out.
But that's my next
Okay.
plan. That's my next plan before, like I already
That's
told
a
my
good
son.
plan.
Christmas, I
It
don't know
is.
what you
That's
want
a
for Christmas.
Very good.
I'm
plan.
not getting you shit. I already told him you were too old for real. Santa Claus is not real. What I can do for you, if you want, let's go in and you're gonna be my business partner. Like this is what my mom did to me. You know, she's an asshole. My mom did this with me. Taught me a lot of little stuff about business. I'm trying to teach him now. I swear that is I just want him to be independent enough to take care of himself. I do not want him to struggle. I don't want him to want for anything. He can figure out love and relationships down the line as he go through his path. But I need him to understand how to
So
maneuver.
let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Why do you have to pay the place that you have it on the lot? I mean, not the lot
Because you're
per
using
se,
their power source. You remember, you still
but
gotta
they're
have a power
also
source.
it's also bringing them. You bringing business to their shopping center or
You're bringing
whatever.
traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it depending on where
right.
you have your spaces at. So, like the one shopping center, it's gonna be kind of towards the back parking lot, right? But it's still because you gotta remember that thing is still pulling power 24/7, regardless of someone using
Right,
that. 'Cause
right, right.
The one of them have screen on it, so you're
Right.
running power consistently. It's gonna have all these little cute little blue lights and stuff.
Right.
So
right,
it's just like paying an electric bill, pretty much.
right.
You just got to pay them. You have to pay
Right.
for that leasing of that space.
Right.
They're not gonna just give it to you for free. I mean, it's still a company, they lease
Right,
all
right,
that's
right.
all their
I
property.
understand
But it's
that.
not
I
as
understand
expensive
that.
as a store. It's a storefront. I don't know how much the storefronts are, but I'm talking like I'm paying less than $1,000 a month.
And the devices have their own generator on that.
They have
in
their
that
own
little
generator, but
place.
you still what they suggested do. Some places like one was like, look, you need to hook to our power supply because what they think is if it breaks down, it shuts down. I guess they have some type of regulations they have to stick to because once it's installed, before you even can let anybody come, they have like in Maryland, they have people that have to come out and inspect it to make sure it's what it's supposed to
Right,
be.
right.
Because you can have also be damaged, because
you're
it's
dealing with the
electric
electricity,
and because of
yeah.
current, it can damage somebody's car.
Right.
They got a whole little, I guess, like little team now that they got put together because people buy them so much. So stuff like that. Even with insurance, you know, when I was talking to an insurance company, just insuring those things and the liability, it's not really a lot of liability, but because it's electric, they don't even know I mean, because it's still new. So they don't know. It's just like when you jump a car
Right,
wrong.
they don't know nothing.
They don't
about
know
it,
if
right.
it can fry somebody's whole car yet.
Right.
But those for them, they want you to hook it to their main power source. But it's going to be like, so whatever they have for their generator, it's another one that they'll put. It's like a little box. You see them.
Right. Yeah.
What I
seen 'em.
noticed,
Yeah.
you start seeing them. It's an independent power supply, but because they're the one that's their lines and all that stuff like that, you're paying for that. But it's not a
Okay.
lot. I mean, it's not.
You're
It's not
paying
much
the
to what
plaza,
you make.
the whoever owns the plaza.
Yeah, the
or
leasing
whatever
company.
for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
give me the name of that company that you?
And let me tell you
something.
something. Most of the companies that are producing them are foreign. Like the company I'm dealing with is a German company. And I thought with some BS, I contacted so many people about it. Like that's what I've been working on for like it took about 4 months to actually like get it approved, get all that stuff done, all the paperwork done, because it's so different. And I had to take a class.
Right.
The company, if you bought from them, you had to do an online class for how to
That's
use
cool.
their machines and all that.
That's
It was
cool.
nothing but 2
I've
hours.
been using them. Yeah,
Right.
I've been using them
What's a
since
2-hour
2019.
class, you know? But
Yeah.
before they even sell to you, you know, they want you to be able to know how to operate their equipment, and you do
Right.
have to go with their upgrades when they do certain things, but they have different levels of upgrades. Like it's pretty fire though, but it's smart. Like before, think about it. Before that market get oversaturated by foreign people that take over the gas stations, like you know, we don't have any black-owned gas stations for real like that. They're usually owned by people of foreign descent. I think that's where we need to go with it. I'm not even lying. I feel like that's where we need to go.
No, that's a good. That's a very
dope,
good
actually.
idea.
Yeah, and think
because-
you doing a business under $60,000, you can. I mean, you can add a little extra stuff on. You might run about extra
And it's
10,000, but
affordable too. Yeah. that's a good-
affordable, easy. Start out. Shit, I'm ready to think
Alright.
to have my son go out there and clean it.
No,
Go
I'm not
clean the
gonna-
glass off or something. It's not.
Yeah.
It ain't a secret. But a lot of black
It's all
people
about
jump on it.
customer. It's all about customer service.
Yeah, put a little hand sanitizer.
Put a little
pump
trash
out
can
there,
out
you know what I'm
there.
saying?
a
Yeah,
little
trash
trash can out
can, little something, you know. Easy.
All right.
What if you could dispense some mints after they done?
You see what I'm saying? Like, what can we do to make your
Some of them
experience?
got
Sorry,
Wi-Fi.
have
Some
you
of
a
them
nice
got
day. Take you a
Wi-Fi, so
minute.
you could so I can update my car.
Huh?
Some of them have Wi-Fi, so I can update my car while you
Hey,
charge.
let me ask you a question. When you go to the little charger station, how long do you actually sit there to get a full charge?
I just had to charge before I came home. It took like a full charge. It all depends on the, like you said, the kilowatts. So
Yeah.
the Tesla superchargers, they make 2 versions.
Mhm.
One version is it get up to like 300 miles every hour. So in an hour you'll get 300 miles worth of charge.
Mhm.
Some of them are 1,000 miles in an hour.
Mhm.
But as you get closer to the battery filling up, that number decreases exponentially.
Mhm.
So it might start off 300 when it's empty, like if you charge them from 10%,
Mhm.
and as it gets closer to full, it'll slow down. That way it don't burst the battery,
Yeah.
and it'll adjust for the time. So, but usually I don't spend no more than 20 minutes at a charging station, and I pay about, depending on if it's a off peak if an off peak time, I
Yep,
might
that's
pay
the thing, too.
$9 for a full charge. All the way up to 20 is the highest for a full
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah.
20,
God
21
damn, I need to get an
Yep,
electric
and I
car.
I'm
need
trying
that.
to tell you.
Times
I paid
250.
$5 for one
Right.
gallon of gas.
Shit, listen,
And I
I'm
got
ready to
a-
drop a
my
couple units
shit
down in
take
Orlando.
14
Like,
gallons.
for real. I'm not even in Orlando. I'm looking at putting, because I'm thinking
And-
about putting these in other
and-
states, not just in my state.
And like you said, a lot of people, when I bought mine in 2019, it was new to a lot of people and they didn't understand it.
Yep.
But now I'm starting to notice that everybody's catching on, and I'm seeing people riding around in
Yep.
the Kia Soul. They make an electric version of the Kia Soul.
Oh, shit.
The
What
hell?
the
Whoa.
hell?
Oh,
popped
shit.
off?
Somebody
What
just shot.
Boss.
Somebody got a gun in here?
All y'all from the hood. Ain't
We
nobody.
all
Yeah.
got guns. You got a gun too. Reach in your
I got a
bag.
gun?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That gun just went off.
Damn it.
I
Anyway.
thought you had a gun. Hell, I got
Oh,
one.
Yeah, but you know, it's a lot of side hustles like that that are really coming to the market now, and a lot of people
That's a
aren't
hell of a
thinking
side
about it.
hustle
It
because
Hold on,
is,
wait,
and
wait,
I'm
wait,
always
wait,
thinking
one second.
smart
Wait one
dancing.
second. Don't stop talking. Hold on. To those of you who are going to watch this, this is still mental wellness, okay? Because financial literacy is a big part of your mental health.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's
On the
true.
floor.
Because most people, when they broke, they depressed. Learn how
Hell
to
yeah.
make you some money, okay?
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
come on,
Big
Cat.
facts. Big facts.
That's the real. That's some real.
All right, we can come off this topic. I'm
Yeah, we can
sorry.
come off of it. 'Cause we
It
gonna
was
talk
very-
shit.
Shit,
Tyreek,
why?
You're a big
Actually,
one.
finish.
It's the end of the show. We was
Yeah.
going to
Okay,
close
all right,
out.
all
I
right,
was
well,
gonna
all
let
right,
it
come on
run to
back, Candace.
7:30.
Come on back.
Mhm.
So
There's only 10 minutes left.
by it being a lot of more electric cars on the road, I'm noticing Tesla just opened up their superchargers for off-brand cars.
Hey, baby.
You know
As
what?
long as you
I'm
have
still.
an adapter.
Yeah, see, I'm still looking into it. So, like, even like in my area, for
Mm.
me to put that close, where I live, it's not smart. A lot of people out here have home chargers, but I know when you're out, you're not gonna come all the way back home and charge your
Yeah, see,
car.
I live in the city, and I don't have a
Right,
a
so
garage.
for
or I
me,
don't
it wouldn't
have
be smart in my
driveway,
area.
so I
but I
have
need
to
to put 'em-
travel to a
yeah.
charger.
Yep, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm just thinking of other ways because I mean, I bought this damn truck, so I'm already 200,000 plus in debt. It's making its money back though. It's doing what it's supposed to do. But shit,
Yeah,
I'm
the
already
trucking
here
industry is
now.
Shit right now. I heard it's shit right now.
No, I've been making money. I work with the VA, so
Okay.
I'm good. And it took me 2 months to get that contract. So since I'm here right now, fuck it, I might as well just run that shit up. Like, what's another
Yeah.
60,000?
Matter of
Shit, the
fact,
fuck?
you know they got
Actually,
the
$300 a
Tesla
month?
That
trucks,
is hilarious. I
The
love
Tesla-
Yeah, I
the
know.
Tesla
I
Civic
know.
trucks.
Yep.
and they got
So-
big ass charging stations for them too.
Yep. And that's another thing too. But I think you're gonna start seeing major companies like Sunoco coming out with
Yeah, I heard
maybe
they were
all
gonna do that.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
saying they're gonna get smart and start doing that kind of
They
thing.
ain't gonna
too.
let that money off the table.
They're not gonna let
Yeah.
that money go. Hell no.
Hell no.
Like it's, but I think for now, I think it's a small business that can make money on its own. Like it's passive income
That's
to a
some
degree.
good passive income right there.
Very.
And
Shit,
where
I'm-
like I
a
said, where I
laundromat
live
is
at
good
in the city,
income.
it's a lot of chargers, but it's not a lot of level 3 ones, like you said. You know,
Level
you
3
got-
is the best one.
Yeah, I know. You got the level 2s and the level 1s and the shopping
Yep.
centers and shit like that, but they don't get you.
Yeah, because
no
those are
real-
about
I love
$2,000.
being in the
You can buy the
presence of
commercial
people who
ones
are
about
well
$2,000,
versed in
$3,000. They
different
dirt cheap.
stuff and different life aspects. That's
Yeah, so
it.
stuff like when it comes to finances and shit like that, like I
I'm
can
slow
talk
as
about
hell
shit like
when it
that.
come to
I'm
money.
very
I love it.
intelligent
I love it because
when
you
it
gotta
comes to
be
shit like
honest with
that.
it.
It stay
People
in
always
my
say, "Oh, money
wallet
don't
or
mean
it don't.
anything." It does. It dictates everything in your life.
Right.
It dictates how you eat, where
right.
you sleep, how you feel, and if you don't at least be smart. I mean, you ain't gotta be like. I don't want to be super rich. But my son works
Hey,
this out,
Auntie.
so
Hey, baby.
time he 20 years old, he'd be I don't know. Who knows? He goofy. This generation goofy.
He gonna get it back together. You said
I'm
he
trying
only
to tell
18,
you.
ain't he?
Yeah, he about to be.
Yeah, okay. He got
Girl,
plenty of time.
he
I'm
a
still getting
nerdy,
it together. I'm 27,
17-year-old,
so
like,
so don't pray for it to happen quick.
yeah, I know. I
Right.
kind of like it though. You know, I know he ain't into certain stuff, so yeah, I don't know.
Like I'm an adult, and when it comes to certain stuff, you would think that she kind of smart. She went to school for a master's, but when it comes to like little normal life stuff, I be a little slow to it. Like I'm not this
My daughter.
well versed. Like somebody just told me that I can call and have stuff off my
Yeah,
credit that
but
I
I
didn't
know
even
the
know
the
about.
best time to do that was during the pandemic. During the pandemic is when
Yeah,
I
they was
showed my
erasing. They was
brother.
giving
Well, I
everybody.
don't have
Oh, they
nothing
was-
on
they
my
was taking
credit. I
shit
only
off
got
nothing, right? They was
one bad
correcting
mark,
stuff.
and it just got there. And it's because when I left, when I moved out of my house, I forgot that I had a AT&T
What's up, Miss
router box,
Hey, baby.
and I didn't give it back, so they charged me for that. And I didn't know they charged me for it. I completely forgot about it. I left it in the empty house in the corner. And when I just looked on my credit, it was on my credit. He like, it just got there. You could call